I am a multidisciplinary artist who makes sculptures and installations, and I organise and curate exhibitions in London. I try and employ a pernicious sense of curiosity when I look at the world and try and find the light in the mundane. Dance and movement informs my practice in a way where I play and manipulate materials. It kind of gives me that feeling or that sensation of movement and that push and pull, which is what you do in dance. Creativity to me is self-expression. It's dancing, it's theatre, it's singing, it's art. It is a way to understand the world. It gives me freedom. I think it gives me a sense of confidence and inventiveness. I like looking at clothing as like a relic, or like treat it as an object of like human touch. And then through making these slabs, I like to explore memory and how clothing can hold that information. And then through this rolling, it leaves like a imprint, almost like a fossilized bit of fabric. So it's like a frozen in time movement for someone's clothing or their identity, something that's touched their skin that makes it very like, I don't know, tactile. I think creativity is life. Life is creation in itself. We're all born from creation. We are all creative in one way or another, whether it's like cooking or fixing a car. I think maybe society paints this picture of art being inaccessible, creativity not being for everyone, but I feel like it's very human to just make and create things. I think sometimes beyond studies, being creative or being a creative, there's like lack of community. And I feel I found that joining the Enfield Young Creatives group. Making this film together has been really enjoyable, and I can't wait to see what happens in the future.
Art means a lot to me. I let my imagination free. It helps me view my imagination into an actual piece as opposed to something that's just floating around in my brain. It makes me, it gives me comfort knowing that my plans of making work actually come to fruition, because I tend to either overplan or not do enough, or just say I'll do something and then not do it. And I feel like having photography especially as a gateway to just show my emotions, I think that's very important. As a neurodiverse, epileptic person, art is a way for my silly little brain to explore itself. It lets me view things that wouldn't be so obvious, and I think that's one way that it's helped me to create work. But on the other hand, it does somewhat stop me because I tend to just not care about certain art forms, so I'm sort of picking up and dropping. But I think photography is a very good art form for me because it's very quick. All my plans, if done correctly, will work whatever happens. In art, although most of us are somewhat neurodiverse statistically, there isn't many spaces for disabled people at all. I feel like they're very niche, smaller areas that aren't even promoted. So it kind of puts us in a stagnant. Like, we have the abilities to be in bigger areas, but we aren't given the opportunity based on how we are built. I don't want the fact that my brain is built different to affect how people view me, because that is objectively unfair. And art, although it's an escape, it can also hinder in that area. So my neurodiversity is, my brain works in a very weird way, I would say. Weird isn't a derogatory term, but it's just a bit different because I'm also epileptic at the same time. So how I envision both, art makes me be able to create things and show my passions and what I think of life, and I don't know, certain object. I view things very, very differently sometimes, and that's why I really enjoy to mix different things together, different mediums together. And I think, although neurodiversity has tackled me negatively in other areas, I think it has definitely had a positive spin on my creativity and how I view it and myself.
I'm a multidisciplinary creative. I'm a photographer, poet, and editor. Creativity to me is a form of expression through so many different art forms. I feel like that's the beauty of creativity. Being in nature, it just makes me feel free, and it makes me be able to express myself, and it brings out certain parts of my creative process. And I feel that that's the beauty of it. Just being able to sit in a park makes me be able to think. It's freeing, it's outdoors, and through that, it allows me to just create lovely, flowing work. Wearing berets is just a part of me and my personality and a way I get to express myself. I wear many hats in more ways than one through doing poetry, photography, and editing. When I was really young, I had a Barbie camera, and that was the first time that I was introduced to photography. And yeah, since then, it's obviously flourished. And also, I used to make songs on my mum's Nokia. And I feel like from making songs, it's transitioned me into creating poetry. The connection that our eyes made could have never told us how our future days would have changed our life in so many ways, from the cries of joy to the cries of being annoyed at one another. I just think it's just so nice, and I'm happy that I've been able to grow with my creativeness. Enfield is my home. But when it comes to having an impact on my creativity, it sends me on a journey out of town. From college to now, the courses for me to succeed were in neighbouring boroughs, only hoping to stay closer to home. But home lacks the creativity I've been longing to seek. Yet I say that to say, home does have some art-infused culture. Theatre and acting holds a close place in my heart. But for my visual and sound artists, do we have that same culture? Creative culture. Excel, express, engage. Spaces in this palace, I meant to say place. Don't mind me and my dyslexia. Enfield and its duplexity for me. Part 1 consists of the loss we have faced with our creative scene. Part 2 is the rediscovery of Enfield's soon-to-be-told narratives and creative communities.
And it's coming to the stage!
Creativity to me is everything. It's a means of freedom. You get so caught up in the world, it becomes so mundane. Creativity is so needed. It's expression at its core. When I was 11, I watched a black and white show. One of those old school theatre things. And I was like, I can do that. And I just fell in love with it. I like releasing my inner child and just letting it run wild and just, really exploring this as well in a professional way. I feel like a lot of creativity is either educationally based as well. I didn't let education stop me, even though, struggling with things like dyslexia in school. I found out a week before my GCSEs, which ideally wasn't great. I felt failed in that way as well, failing my English GCSEs. Going from that to being a 2-time self-published author, to writing theatre plays, to writing my own scripts. I really wanted to just challenge every sort of narrative that, you need this certain foundation in place, or you need to go to acting school. No, you don't. You just need the drive and passion and have the right people around you as well. I always try to give back in that way as well, and try and be a beacon of positivity in life. I express myself in many different forms. Acting, one, so film and TV. Poetry is a big one for me because it's my way of really releasing what I'm holding in my heart, in my thoughts, everything like that as well. So poetry is a big one for me. Basically, biblically beautiful, but are you going to be the rib that's going to remain through it all? I do a lot of kind of creative stuff. Acting will always be my first love as well. I explore everything from love to isolation to heartbreak to I mean, you name it. I've really explored, my feelings within this as well. The titles of my two self-published poetry books, the first one's called Deeper Insights, which is, my first sort of release. It's all about kind of the male sort of experience of navigating life. And the second one is called Serenading Seasons, Lover Boys Don't Die. Yeah, 18 plus, please. I don't want to get in trouble. Enfield has really kind of shaped my sort of artistic route in life because I've been so blessed and fortunate enough to be in spaces and meet people who have given me the opportunities and provided me the training and safe spaces to actually showcase myself and let my light shine. People who are not, as funded or as supported as I feel like they should be. People like, MK Cypher Films or 21K Digital Media, Right to Speak. People like those people, Yossi, Tyler, are on the front lines, I guess, pouring into young people and really out here helping people. So I believe that as much as they champion us as young people, we need to champion them as the sort of leaders that they are, recognize their worth and support them for everything that they do and more. People don't realize how much of an influence it has as well, and sort of how, I guess, underrepresented it is as well, especially in Enfield, and it really should be championed and supported more.
We've been witness to the passion, the self-doubt, and the resilience of 4 young creators in Enfield. But this isn't just their story, it's a reflection of something bigger, the power of creativity in our community. You've heard our story, so now what's yours?
Together we are right.